Hello world, it's JWP. I'll be doing a SynthEdit stream. My target for this plugin is a rescaler. I've been fixing up my sampler, but I haven't really gotten around to being able to stream the development. It's just been a lot of replacing knobs and making things fit better. It's been mostly just background GUI. There will be more streams of the sampler. But until then, I'm just going to be making a quick velocity rescaler. So heading into SynthEdit, I'm going to start a new project. Bring in a container. I'm going to name this velocity rescaler. Move this down on this corner. Shrink it a bit more. Shift double click, heading inside. We want, this is going to be a real simple guy. Well, I say that and then, yeah. And I mean, when I mean simple, I mean like real simple. Hopefully. Make sure channel all and channel all. And that's it. But not really. Because I want to do some rescaling. Now, the idea here is I want this to sit at the front of Patcher. And I want to be able to control velocity, at least relative velocity, by a parameter. So I don't want to target the velocity, I want to rescale it. And in order to do so, I have to figure out an algorithm for that. What the algorithm is, I have no clue. Perhaps maybe a level 80J multiplier. Not sure. But yeah. And in the new version here, we have our, I didn't know it was, could move the top down. But yeah, the default canvas now sits directly in line with subcontrols. So starting again, I'm just going to copy this or cut it. Starting again, delete that because I did modify the default canvas. And call that velocity rescaler. Shift double click, shift hold double click, and paste that starting point there. Over IO. And yeah, back into the canvas. I'll just drop a quick rectangle on there. Now it snaps right to the corner, which is good because before it used to be like 4 pixels down and it would always snap like right here. And you can never really tell if it was sitting on the edge, which it never really was. So anybody who's been developing SynthEdit synths probably never noticed this, and it was quite the oversight. The side used to do that as well. Back to the rescaler. I'm going to be taking some assets from my velocity mask, and I do want a GUI system. Don't feel it totally needs a custom GUI system, so grab a prefab. Bear with me while I dig around. Yeah, I'll be taking the controls from the velocity mask, and this is really quite simple of a synth or synth an effect. I want a percentage knob, so I'm gonna grab that one. And going forward, I believe I will be using. I will be using. Get rid of these connections. I will be using a right-click system for resetting controls. So yeah, this has got to go. And that stays. I do want to program some stuff into here. I believe this is heading 3. Or we could use. No, we'll just go with heading 3. Of course, it's probably going to make everything look pretty bland, but I could edit the skin file. This is going, but for now, I'll just add a style to it anyway. And this is going to be called alter. Actually, it's almost pretty much already named, but that's it after. But it says alter. And here and there and over there. Got a knob. Amazing. Suppose I could add a custom GUI system. I mean, it's only one knob. But for now, for version 1, I'm going to just keep it black on slate. Slate or light gray. The neutral colors, the grays and stuff, are better for workspaces as they are less distracting. I really like this style though. That border is a bit too thick. So I really want to go in there and take it all apart just for a border. One more in the middle here. That one and that one. And here. Grab it right there. No, messed it up. Move that off. Many pieces that comprise this simple knob to give it some style, I suppose. So I guess it was just this that was giving it its color. This and snap. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And snap. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's probably gonna have to be an odd number. So lucky number 7. No, 5. Hopefully the readouts still fit. And it should now snap. Still don't snap. I think I want them one more pixel bigger, so I'm going to turn off snap to grid and go 1, 2, 2, or just 1, 1 up and down, and 1 right and 1 down. So yeah, it's 2, 2, and 2, and 2, and 2. There we go. I just feel it looks a little bit cleaner. Don't know why it's a funny color, but yeah. That's done. I'm gonna put everything back. Want guy first, I guess. I need the grid. Snap the grid. And sitting there goes 1, 2. Just want to double check that. I'll have to later. It comes down 1, 2. Percent. Actually, I gotta fix that up. Huge. 1, oh, 1, 2. Move this back over 1. And everything back. All right, so having snapping issues. Desktop and see what we're looking at here. These fades don't look quite as good as my newer stuff, but it's fine. Well, I never unsorted anything. Why is it? Why does it look funny? What is going on? Okay, I want this to be that white. So here. Oh. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2. Back on. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need that back one to be black again. That's the wrong one. This must be already open, so get rid of this. And figure out where that window is. Oh, it's down here. I need this one. 1, 2 black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And back in there. Yeah, it looks like it's working now. This around. Looks like there's something wrong with my overlay. Not sure what. Looks like it's lined up. So it's not. So need this one to be returned to value of 1. That's the controller. Way off. So back in here and grab this one. Wiggle it around. Maybe I'll change the background color here. Let's see where the borders are. I guess this has to be changed in size as well. So 2 and 1, 2. And then switching to one of these other ones. Same thing. 1, 2, 1, 2. And my voice totally rasping out. 2 and 1, 2. Still out of line. Bugger. Hold on. I'm going to have to re-snap that and shrink it 1, 2, and 2. Still looks wrong. Not sure why. This guy isn't in line. Turn that off. Get the cap. The cap's too big. So I will shrink that off the grid. Go on, still on the grid. Leave it on the grid. And shrink it some more. 1, 2, and 1, 2. This still looks wrong. The overlays is out of line. Maybe I didn't resize it. I'm wiggling it around first here. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look. So I mean, the big border did look better, but yeah, I am not undoing that. Let's go ahead and get rid of all this now. Take a look at the desktop or the panel. It looks fine. So, how is this gonna work? So the velocity comes in, but I don't want to specifically say, I don't want it to realign it. I want to alter it. I want to re-level it. So that would be appropriate to use the level adjust. And velocity in, set to velocity out. And I do believe I need to check on its float goes to 100 and what's happening here. I just prefer to use the math module. That needs to be divided by 10. And of course the right click system. So in order to do that, I need need a integer. And that goes from -1 to 0. That's pretty much all it needs. And that gets hooked up to a spring. In order for it to trigger, it needs to be a bool. So we'll go integer to bool, integer to bools. And float to float. Already a float. All right. Now that that's done, I need a edge memory text. And this will just hold the right-click menu's options, which will be default equals 0. And now I can start wiring them in. So these go, the text goes here, creates the menu items. And then the menu selection is always -1. But once it gets selected, it jumps to 0. And then it snaps back to -1. And the spring has to be activated and then deactivated before it will send its value out. Opposed to just being activated and sending its value out. I'm just connecting these to the right-click menu options. Now the whole knob should be responsive as a right-click menu. Go to panel. And I don't even know what the default set to, 0. So alter by 0, if it comes in, it's going to just totally flatline it, which I don't want. If it's at alter 0, it shouldn't be doing anything. I have no clue. I shall find out. I guess I can bring in a new velocity. I'll get a velocity readout from FL Studio. It's for some testing. Just opening up FL Studio, I will switch to that. I can find it. There it is, I think. Oh, I got a bunch of overlays on that. On that one, which I do not want. So I want to get rid of that and that. Okay, so switching to FL Studio. I'm going to bring in a MIDI out. And that's fine the way it is. I just need some velocities. So say I have notes. They are at 75%. And once they come in, I'm actually going to go ahead and save this before I activate the audio system. I need to start a fresh folder. This is velocity rescaler. And activating the audio system, heading over to FL Studio, pushing play, heading back to SynthEdit. I'm getting nothing because I don't have a MIDI in. Bringing in a MIDI in. Actually, you know what? FL SynthEdit doesn't have MIDI out as a VST3. It's right to bugger. Well, FL Studio has a bridge, and I believe VST2 does handle MIDI out, but not in 64-bit. Again, which is fine. The bridge is actually for 32 to 64, not VST2, as there is 64-bit VST2s. So the prospect looks dimmer, and I'm not getting any value here, probably because this isn't on. Looking at FL Studio, it's still running, but it's not sending any data. Why? Where did my notes go? Pattern 3. Okay, so it's coming in at 78%. Now, if I'm to rescale that, what's going to happen? And my readout's funny, because when I connected here, it redid itself. Okay, so 7.8 out of 10. Yeah, that's right. That's pretty much all there is to it, as far as I want it to work. But of course, there's the GUI considerations. And that doesn't look very good. I'm going to extend this 1, 2. And 1, 2. Is this snapped? And up 1, 2. And same with this. That over. 1, 2. 1, 2. I need just that. And not that. No, not that. Can I unselect that somehow? No. Try this. So moving that over. This looks really big gap here. Move everything up. And down 1, 2. Again, down 1, 2. That looks a little lopsided. One. There, that's fine. All right, so I'm still getting input from FL Studio. I'm going to turn that off. From here, I need to do some GUI, I suppose. Turn off the audio system. Another one knob number, one knob wonder. Delete that. And this can all be moved down, including the IOs. And start on some GUI. So controls, I want, yes, a couple rectangles. And for effects, I like the lights to be shining from the top and the bottom. We'll see if we can pull that off. And of course, borders. Actually, all this, but I'll have to go in and do this a million times. These. I go add a separate section for the borders. All right. So like I said, a slate gray. I'm looking at a more lighter gray though. So go with 7 looks like. I didn't count those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Copy that. Come in here and go FF. What do I want? 0, 1, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. This will be 7, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Same thing down here, but the opposite, 7, 7. And what did I have up here? Black. Let's copy that over. And copy this other one over. All right, a bunch of stuff. What is this one? Why that one's rounded? I must have dragged it out. All right. Send that to the back. Sizing. And that looks like crap. Moving that to the back. Moving it to the back. Time. And yeah, the lights are the wrong direction. So how to fix? Try with white. I think I did that the wrong way. Let's try the other way. And got some spam in chat. Doesn't look consistent with the knob. It's a nice glowing color anyway. Drop it a bit. What? Which one is the background? That one. There, it's a little less bright. Can it be better without looking too much like the knob? I have to view it in FL Studio, so that's fine for now. And I want these here, there, here. For now. What's up, Heath? Sorry, I don't know how to say your name. I am building a velocity scaler. Really simple concept. Just came to mind. Unfortunately, it has to be downgraded to 32-bit because 64-bit doesn't handle MIDI out. Might just totally be a waste of time, but it's something I want, so I'm taking a swing at it. Need to name this. I don't need to name that. I need to this. Style it. Hitting 3. This will be the title. Velocity V scalar. Put that up a bit. Stick that up there. And I gotta go get this logo in a minute. But that's not where I am, so I'm just gonna continue going with this stuff. This is just the top border. So I don't know if you're still here, Hess or Hees. How do you say your name? Hees? Anyway, I would say what's going on, but I'm not even sure if you're still here. But anyway, what's going on? These borders are just for the file menu system. As when I design, I prefer to design as software and not to look like hardware. So I need to expand a bit more. I don't really think that it needs a preset system, so maybe just the logo now, which is a prefab from any other project. I'll pull it from the sampler. So bringing in that asset eventually, it is kind of a big project. Too many patch memories. Too many patch memories in FL or in SynthEdit. Makes it near impossible to save and forever to load. And this is a gaming machine, so yeah. While I wait, I might as well go fiddle in FL Studio, I guess. So I guess I'll get set up for bringing it in. Bring in a patcher. Still loading it. Bugger, I think it crashed and I don't remember the last time I saved. SynthEdit is awful for that, no autosave. I'm gonna wait for it. What I want to do is, can I do that? Straight through. And bring in a whatever. Square. Still loading. Bugger. Yeah, I think I'm stepping all the way back. And my camera just activated. Not good. Like that. That's creepy. Yeah, it's SynthEdit's toast. So I'm going to crash that, finish it right off, and rebuild. Rage quit status. But that's the nature of SynthEdit. So I'll reload what I had where I saved. Actually, you know what? I want to know why my webcam's running. So I'm going to close this stream. Because that's just creepy. So, I wonder if it'll let me steal it. So here's the face cam. Jump back into SynthEdit here. Where is that? Yeah, okay, it's running. What happens if I turn it off? It's still running. What am I at for time? 43 minutes. Deactivate. Yeah, okay, it's off. All right, I'll have to remember to do that, but I mean it shouldn't be activating. Reactivate it. Just always running, even though I don't have it running. It's missed. Well, I'm going to deactivate it because I don't need it. 15 minutes, rebuild to where I was? Sure. All right. I'm going to reopen my previous project as far as it made it. To rescaler. And I'm probably all the way back at the beginning. Blah. Yeah. At least my border is done. do have to rescale this stuff. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. And this guy 1, 2. Take this over and bring it back 1. Oops. There, bring it down 2. That's how I had it, and I got to grab the knob. Missed. Oh. This stuff has to come up 1. I'll do it manually, so things don't go all squirrely. That down 2. Bring that down 2. That was 3. One, 2. All right. That's lion. These guys snap the grid. Yep. That got done, and back to rebuilding. Matter of fact, I'm going to save right now just to get into the habit. Bring in rectangles. Turn that off, 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 off. And I need a bunch of them. Just going to keep pasting. Do some alignment. And I believe I was at 3. Go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Copy that. Top value 0, 1. 0, 1 black. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And bottom one was 7, 7 white. And then flip mode that. But at least I don't have to recalculate things. Calculations are still in the dome. Push everything to the back, to the back. One more time. This over there. And down. And that now it's in the way. Just gonna push to the back for now. Over there and down. Push to the back. And over there and down. And a happy little tree. Right here. Alright, so do I have my reset system? No, that's gone too. Well, I'm gonna save and start rebuilding. Oh, I got part of it. I do have it. So that's done. This needs to be 100. Just part of it. No, it's completely there. It's good. It's good. It's good. Done. 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 And yeah. So I need a top border and two bottom left, right. I still need those separators that I lost. Drop that down. Bring those in line. Don't know how big that logo is, so I'll just eyeball it for now. And again. And yeah, it looks really plain. Amazing. Bring in a patch memory. Value, and this is heading 3. Not writable, private. And this is velocity rescaler. That up, that there, the center. That looks good. All right, this time before I bring in this prefab, I'm gonna save so I don't lose everything. And just digging out a prefab. I'm going to take an earlier version of the sampler so it doesn't take a year to load. Now loading. And it has a sound font player with a 2-for-1 deal. Right, and I want the logo. Copy that. Bring that in here. And it looks like crap. Yeah. It's gonna fix this alignment to 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks about right. So I need a new skin for that. I'm just gonna quickly do that. Need to go to C drive, users, public documents, SynthEdit projects, skins, and I'm gonna copy the default. And rename the JWP S frequency velocity resampler. What's it called? Rescaler. And I'm going to copy the logo values from the global of the sampler project and bring them into the global of the velocity resplitter. Save, close back here, and it's not going to read right now, so I'm going to save this as is and close the window out. You get nothing but a super entertaining black screen. Reload SynthEdit and bring my overlays back up. reload the project. Now the skins should be loaded into the system. I'm going to seek them out. I want JWP's velocity rescaler. And yeah, pretty much done for now. He's sitting. Where are these sitting? Okay. Looks like that's too high. Yeah, about there. Of course, there'll be some selections there just for the system itself, because it does need it. I don't know how much will apply to MIDI data as far as the SynthEdit background system. I should probably limit quite a few. I don't really think there's anything. Maybe I could do the color system. It in here. And this is what? Black on top. What? And what? Perhaps we'll 7 and wait. So I'm actually going to need quite a few more of these. It's going to be quite the task to achieve a border. Because I'm going to need a back underlay for all of this too. And I'm in the old view. I need the new view. Or I want the new view. That sample out of there. Save again. Copy, paste, and this one needs to be the opposite, so black. And scrap one of these ones. We'll see the mess that made. Okay. Go for a thick border. Effects will have a thick border. Pose. What do I want in the front? I want this in the front. And I want this in the front. But where'd the black one go? It's right here. I want this underneath those, so this will be to the front first. And to the front, and to the front. There. It's over here. And I was thinking about going an 8 pixel. That's gonna be thick. Meh, whatever. Why is this one a big black bar there? It misses this one. Well, that's fine. What's going on there? It looks anyway. So drag this over and down. And again. Oops. It looks quite terrible. So I need what to be transparent. I do believe this one is. And this one. But if I make every effect a super thick border, then we're going to have trouble fitting things in later. So we'll go with 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, and the light isn't shining like that. That's right too. Well, the pseudo light anyway. Yeah, that looks wrong. Looks like this is sort of concaved. Hmm. Oh, I buggered that up. So within the top of the border will be a light color. Regardless, these have to be flipped. And again, black. I'm not counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And this is white or black. White. It's white. It's completely white. Heavy. It's a bit much. We shall see. What does that look like? Wait, do I have my grid on? Grid is not on. That looks awful. Awful. It's great. It's great that it's awful. My border is going to be white. Accept white borders. No. I'm going to need a whole bumper around here. A whole gutter. Gutter for the border. I don't want the borders to be white. What does it mean though? So if the light's shining from the top and the bottom, what color will the top border be? Bottom border. Obviously white. No, that's too much. Let's kick these down a bit here. Dim the lights a bit. It's just the same color as the background now. Even though it's black. So these have to be turned down. And again. And that's wrong. Right. Barely makes any sense. My brain's not making sense of that. So we'll turn it up to B, I guess, which is 3/4. Give it some depth. It's a bit better, but it's not really popping. Not the pop. Can't get that 0, 1 any lower. Perhaps I can drop this guy. Barely see where that thing is. Do we have pop? Crooked. We have crooked. It just doesn't want to pop. Only way to make it pop is to have a separate selection. So that's what it's gonna be. That's the way it's gonna be. So what's this at 7? Separate selection, I mean like in half. And this one again in half. Yeah, there. Now that's pop. That's pop. Because the top border is gonna have to be a gray. I hate to make it gray. That's the way the cookie crumbles, though. Yeah. And because of the way 32-bit plugins render, it's actually gonna look like this. In fact, so I should be designing for this system. Yeah, look at that. Beefy. Beef the need. Huh. I can even see that. I need like the magnifier to see this. Oh, I don't know what that did for the stream. And it's docked. Yeah, all sorts of blinking, eh? Okay, so I want it to follow the cursor. I don't need smooth edges. I do want it to follow the cursor. Do they still have that? Doesn't even look like it's still follow. Lens? What? Never seen that before. What am I looking at here? What's going on? Can't see anything. Yeah, that didn't work. So I don't want lens, I want docked. But I want it to follow the cursor. Have magnifier follow mouse cursor. Okay. Apparently it is working. Maybe because I'm streaming. Bugger. Well, from this view, it looks like this needs to be brighter. Yeah. Try BB. Oh, that's wrong. Wrong one. This one. And I think I'm exceeding into an hour. Actually, probably over. I'm going to call this stream here and return shortly to continue. So, thanks for watching.